like the next will never come. Oh, help me, but don't tell me to deny it. I gotta cleanse myself of all these lies till I'm good enough for him. I got a lot to lose and I'm betting high, so I'm begging you before it ends, just tell me where to begin. Hey, what I need is a good defense, 'cause I'm feeling
12s that you're looking for, Chef? Because I'm tired of buying green. Dill in the soup? I would never do that. Not enough flavor.
It's like a very fresh, light, tasty chip.
Yeah. Yeah, classic fucking British food tastes like nothing. Oh, it's gonna be milky pussy pasta. It's not gonna have that swells that you're looking for, Chef. Because I'm tired of buying green, Chef.
What's that mean? What does that mean? I'm tired of buying cream.
Figured that I could make my own cream.
So you decided to sabotage my dish!
I had to stop injecting bleach because my boobs got too big. You know how you get a recipe and you're like, where's the fucking recipe? I was a little girl. Like, no, where is the recipe? This is Sunday night dinner and a movie. This is the one stream a week that I ask you, in particular, to not be an asshole. Not today. Not on the Lord's Day. The Lord being me. Okay? I am the Lord. This is the Lord's Day. Oh my fucking God. Holy shit. Honestly, there should be like a camera that shows everything that's happening in the countdown to like my stream going live every single time. What, webcam? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Like, literally every single thing just breaks on Sundays. It makes me like never want to do these streams. I gotta be so for real. I gotta be so honest. I don't know. Let me check something. It's so cursed. It's literally the most cursed shit ever. It's so stressful. Oh, did you just fart? You just came in here to fart. Okay, what is my, let's see, what mic is this? Oh God, Farley. Oh God, you just came in here to fart. Oh my God, that smells so bad. That stinks. I'm trying to. Oh my God, I'm so hot. I'm sick. I'm so sick, and I've just been like trying to get this done all day, and then everything always breaks. Okay, it says that it's Rodecaster. Okay. So that's that. I don't understand why this mic. Everything should be fine. Okay, can I hear myself? Okay, so what is happening with this mic? Okay, let me think. Bro, this is like 50 things that just broke. What does it sound like? It just sounds like the... Alright, okay, Rodecaster. Sounds like a room mic? Okay, wait, test. Why would that be happening? I don't know. Let me get my phone. What the hell? Okay, testing. I don't know because all of the input and the output has not changed. It's not a big deal because we'll be switching over to the kitchen soon. Yeah, but like during film class, I mean, I need to be able to talk. I don't know because I can't tell what, Far. Oh, did you do tooties? Sounds like there's just no noise gate on. Okay, did you do a tooties for Mama? Oh, you knew that's just what she needed. Just what she needed. Okay. Oh God, it's so hot. I'm also have a fever, so that's probably why. Hi, you wanna come up here for a second? Come here, my little shooter. Come here. Come on up. Okay, come here. Come here. Yeah, that's an early birthday gift. Did you get Mama an early birthday toot? That's so nice. Oh, thank you. It's just us. It's just us, so you wanted to give me your birthday gift before your dad gets home. Thank you so much. The first birthday gift that I've gotten. I know you're stressed, but your hair looks so... Thanks. Okay, I messaged Nico and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So it's gonna sound like shit right now because like everything seems to be working fine. I have no idea what happened. I don't know, you guys. It's really hard. It's so hard these Sunday streams because there's so much tech involved, and I do it all, but it's not like every week I just plug and it's good to go. I always think it's good to go. Like this week, today, I didn't have to deal with my mic issues, but then it was like the camera just broke. So I switched out my camera lengths and then those weren't working. So then I went and got a different one. No, my mic isn't even, I only have one mic plugged in. And then that wasn't working. So then I like got a different HDMI cord, and a lot of it is troubleshooting. But cause you don't know what's wrong, and then it's like, it's me, so it's already stressful. No, the thing is like, I still don't feel, I've never felt like, oh, okay, I can do this. Because there's always a new problem. Like it's something different. I was like updating drivers and all right, Nico's, he's going to see what's going on. He's just team viewered in. Yeah, I'm also sick, so like that doesn't help. I feel like 150 degrees is my body temperature right now. Do you feel how sweaty mama is? And you're like a stuffed animal. You're like a stuffed animal. Anyway, I'm not trying to bitch and moan. But it's why I'm always so flustered. I'm always so flustered with these streams. Every Sunday, I swear, I'm like flying into the seat, like, what's going on? And then right after I finished fixing the, that setup over there, then I sat down and like suddenly this setup just broke. I'm like, why? Why is this happening? Your hair is fab. Thanks. It's because I've been wearing it and I've been wearing it in braids. Oh, he fixed it. God, Nico is like my human Xanax. He's like my human Xanax. Okay, all right, that's good. That's been fixed. And I always try to figure, like, here's the thing too. I have a very teach a man to fish mentality. So whenever Nico has to fix something or when he's walking me through, I really do try, to take it in. But I swear it's like just something different happens every time. Randomly my camera will just not work as a source. Camera does not work as a source. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now I know what happened though. Now I know what happened. Okay. All right. Put on a little glory box. Calm myself. Pressing deactivate and activate below. I just want to be a woman, you know? All right, anyway. It's so funny too because I was like working on that setup and I thought I had everything ready. I was like, "Oh, I can go early." Like one reason I can't go I can't go live earlier on Sundays is because shit is always fucked. So I'm just like running around with cables and like running back and forth. But I thought I had it all good. I was like, "Ooh, that's a nice surprise. That's a nice surprise. Like I gotta go live a little earlier." And then the camera wasn't connecting because usually, plug the cam link in. I went, "Oh no." So then that was a whole hour and I was like trying to troubleshoot that. And then I was already, so then it was like 6:15. That was like 6:15. I went, "Oh my God, I'm already late." And then I got the camera to work and I was like, yes. And like I was calm throughout it. I felt calm for some reason, even though all this shit was happening. And then it was when I sat down at this computer and I was like, "What's going on? What's happening?" We appreciate the effort you put into these streams. I don't know if it's just because it's me and so it requires all this extra work. Like if it were Sam and she would just, she would just have that down. And the other problem is that, happy birthday, thanks. It's not until midnight, but thanks, John. I already received one very smelly fart from Farley, so a nice early birthday present. Yeah, so I never know if it's like, well, if this were Sam, would she just have everything down pat? Okay, anyway, that's enough talking about that. Happy birthday, Caroline. Just want to say you've become one of my favorite streamers. I truly appreciate all the hard work you put into these streams. It's not only entertaining, but also informative. So cheers to you and keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, Farley is just crashed out on my lap. I smell something residual, or I don't know if he's cooking up a second birthday present. I don't know. What's going on? Did you eat some trash? Did you get into some trash? Oh, no. You and me both have had tummy issues. Oh. Okay. Filibuster, thank you for the 19 months. Malcolm and Harley, thank you for 12 months. Dr. Richie, thank you for the 7 months. Dablandia, thank you for the prime. He's just running it back. Oh, my boy. Okay, so today what we're doing for Sunday dinner is I'm going to make a pineapple upside down cake for the first time. Now, should be easy, fingers crossed. But this cake is a cake that my dad used to make for us on our birthdays. And I have a memory of my 3rd birthday when I leaned over the candles to blow them out and my hair caught on fire. That has been a consistent thing in my life, is my hair catching on fire because it's very long and I don't pay attention to it. One time I was working at the club and I was just leaning over our little table talking to someone and my hair was just on fire. And they were like, "Oh my God, your hair is on fire." I was like, "Oh, that happens a lot." So anyway, so this cake is very special to me. I'm sure some of you in here have experienced the joys of a pineapple upside down cake. I think there's probably like an hour and 20 minutes that it needs to cook. It needs to bake in the oven, so I'll come back here and we can do some stuff. But anyway, it should be easy. Famous last words. I know, famous last words. 32 months on your last day of being 32.
32. Whatever. Thank you for the 32. Dune Shadow, thank you for the 33 months. Staff, thank you for the 32 months. What do you want for your birthday besides never having tech issues? I want world peace. And world peace. And maybe a little bit of world peace. Maybe a crumb. Maybe a tiny little crumb of world peace. What's your perfect date? It's not too hot. It's not too cold. All you need is a light sweater. Thank you. You're welcome. I know it's very brave of me. It's very brave of me. You're better than me. I would refuse to go live. You know, I always tell myself, you're not a quitter. You're not a quitter, Caroline Kwan. You can do this. As much as you're losing your mind, you can do this. Other people do this. They figure it out. You can do this. Deanie, thank you for the bits. Totally not a bot. Thank you for the 14 months. All right. Well, hopefully I can switch us over to the kitchen and everything will be okay. One thing about Caroline, she's never going to quit. Well, try not to. I try not to, whether it was in my tennis match to qualify for state and I was down 5 love, 40 love. It was 5-0, 40 love, and my opponent had the serve. And all she needed was 1 point to win. And somehow I crawled my way back to victory. Okay, I know you've got more farts in there, so I am going to put you down. All right, and I'm going to go over to the kitchen. Okay, let's try this. It always takes a second. Let's see. Okay, wow, that is very bright. Okay. Maybe I'll look a little raptured. Okay, come on. I know, it just takes a second. You can do... Yep, okay. I know, it just takes a second. Belle, thank you for the 3 months. Okay. Belle, thank you for the 3 months. Ooh, it looks so... Okay. All right, test. Okay, I think that should be working. Test. Okay, why something? Okay. Okay. Oh wait. Okay. Okay. Is that better? Hold on. Okay. Oh wait. Okay. Okay. Is that better? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Fix that. All right. Women in STEM. Come on. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. Okay. Now it would be great if I could get okay, we got this. We got this. We're cooking with gas. That's right, baby. That's right. Belle, thank you for the gifteds. Okay. All right, let me move this stuff over here and then here. No. Why can't I breathe whenever I think about you? Okay, let me log in. Okay. Shit. Can't log into Twitch on there. That's okay. All right. Just gonna have to use chat on my phone. It's fine. All right. Okay. Cutie better watch out because I'm coming for the baking crown. Oh, yes, indeed. I am going to attempt to become Twitch's new resident baker. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I do need to pull up. Don't switch. Don't speak. So just what you're feeling. Wait, can you still hear? Hello. Test. Hello. Okay. Oh, God. All right. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 sec. 1 second, Rundo. What? Why are you? Oh, stop it. Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm opening up. I'm opening up Discord, where I put the recipe. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. All right. So my dad sent me 2 recipes. Okay, this has like 1 million ads, of course. My dad sent me 2 recipes. The first one he sent was like clearly on an old piece of paper that had been used 1 million times. But then he sent me another one and said, this is the one that your mom, like, this is the cake that I make for your mom. And I went, why are they like, is one of them better? So I guess I'll make that one if that's the one that you make for mom, you know? It's like, okay. Okay, it'd be really nice if I could have I don't know why this is I needed my iPad for Twitch chat, but I don't know. I do not know where my iPad went. Hold on. If I can't find it, that's okay. Okay. Nope. Nope. I wonder if Will took it. I don't know. Also, apparently Will's obsessed with Boston now. This is what he does. He goes to a new city and then is like, this is my favorite city. He's like, I actually love this place. I'm like, he is the most, wherever he is in that moment, he's like, this is the best place ever. This is the best place. Okay. Go back to the recipe. Pineapple upside down cake. This is really fun because I'm simultaneously reading 2 things at the same time. Okay. Prep time 15 minutes, cook time 80 minutes, total time 95 minutes. Okay, so most of this is going to be the baking. We need 1/2 stick, 1/2 cup unsalted butter, 1 stick, 1 cup of dark brown sugar, 1 can of pineapple slices, flour, Okay, preheat the oven. Place the oven rack to center position and preheat to 325. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Okay, 325. Okay, we'll take that out. Always remember to check to see what is in the oven. Am I unable to? Okay. All right. Do these not move? Okay. You know what? It's fine. Okay. Well, I don't need to move those anyway. It's fine. Grease the pan with butter. You guys, so I didn't have time to go to the store. So I had to just order. I had to order stuff, and I realized I did not have. don't have any pans. I don't know why. It's kind of like forks in my house, where all of my pans have just disappeared. But I also don't have a cake pan. So I tried to order a cake pan, but I think I just was like quickly trying to order stuff on Instacart, and I got four cake pans, but like with the hole in it that you use to make a bundt cake. For example, I now have 4 of these. Okay. So I guess if ever I need to make 4 bundt cakes, then we're in business. A bundt cake. A bundt. Yeah, so that's what we have. We have 4 of these. Now you can lose 3 and have 1 left. This is true. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna use one of them. Pineapple upside down cake, like I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine that I'm using this, but normally you would not use a cake pan like this. But whatever. You know, now I have 4 of them, which is very exciting. If anyone were to like look at what I have in my kitchen, they would be like, this is the most random shit ever. Like, why do you have 4 bundt pans? I'm like, because it's how it goes. Oh, I smell a whiff of something. Something else. Someone else is doing some cooking aside from me. There's only one other person in this household. It's a cook-off, y'all. It is a cook-off. Yeah, we got some Farley Pooters. You know what's crazy? It's like I can't even see him, but I can smell him. Like, I can't even see him, but I can smell him. You'll never know when you'll need to make 4 bundt cakes at the same time. Yeah, so true. So true. Okay. Alrighty. Your last day of 32, my first day of 32. Happy birthday! Happy 32nd birthday. I know, the year went by quite quickly, I have to say. I feel like I was just turning 32, and now here I am, the last day. So, okay, let me wash this out. Give this a little rinse. Aware. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. Honestly, truer words have never been spoken. That is goddamn poetry. Girl, I'm turning 34 in December. You know what? I feel like at a certain point, though, it's all kind of the same. It's like, whatever, you know? I just say I'm like in my 30s. Shrek 2 confirmed. Well, that would be Shrek 1. All-Star was in Shrek 1. Okay, get it right. Get it right. All right, so we want to grease the pan with butter. Okay, this has been sitting out, so hopefully it is room temperino. I'm 44 going on death. You are 16 going on 44. Then you will die. That's how that song goes. Okay. All right, so we're gonna grease this all up. Okay, lots and lots of butter, because we don't want it to stick. And then I'm just gonna kind of, just use my hands. Bro, I don't know the last time I baked. I don't know the last time I solo baked. Actually, you know what I think it was? This is sad. I think it was 4th of July. Last year, maybe? Yeah, it would have been last year. And I think I made crumble. I think I made a dessert for the 4th of July party that I was going to. I believe that would have been the last time. Unless anybody can remember, like solo baking, because I think I probably have done something with Cutie since then. I'm cooking spaghetti alongside you. Yay! I know I haven't eaten dinner. I have not eaten dinner, but I was like, okay, there's no way I can. I just think if I had tried to, because initially last night I was envisioning, I was like, oh, okay, what if I made some of my favorite foods, and then I do the pineapple upside down cake? Ain't no way. Ain't no way if I was trying to get all of that done. All right. Make the caramel topping. Heat the brown sugar and butter in a medium saucepan on medium heat until sugar dissolves and the mixture is bubbly several minutes. After the sugar melts, don't stir. And then you pour the caramel mixture into the pan. Arrange pineapple slices in a single layer on top. Okay, and then you make the cake batter. Add the batter, okay. And then you add the batter to the pan, spread the cake batter over the pineapple. Cake can be dinner, so true. Spread the cake batter over the pineapple and caramel so that it is smooth on top. Right, because it's a pineapple upside down cake. So when you go, beep, see? Okay, and then you bake the cake, turn out the cake, add cherries if you want. All right, so how much do I need for the 1 cup of firmly packed dark brown sugar, 1/2 cup unsalted butter. So this is the topping. Metaphor, thank you for the 5 months. This is the topping for the cake. Okay. All right, so let's get, let's move the pan. Do cinnamon rolls count? Oh, you know what? Yeah, they do. Weren't those really bad? I can't remember. Did I manage to fuck those up? I do not recall. Okay, medium saucepan. Here we go. Forgot that I made cinnamon rolls. Ew. Sometimes, does anyone else pull out their pan? Sometimes you're like, what is that? Ooh, yikes. All right. Okay, so So 1 stick of salted butter, half a cup. So one of these, and unsalted, because remember with baking it matters. It matters. You don't want to just use whatever butter you have, because it's more of a science. All right, these are tips that I've picked up. A whole stick of butter. A whole ass stick of butter is going into the topping, and then there's gonna be more butter. 2 more sticks of butter that are part of the cake. I don't give a fuck I'm using salted. You crazy. You crazy. Okay, and then 1 cup of firmly packed dark brown sugar. Look at how hard this is. Oh my god, this is a rock. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. This is a literal brick. Did you leave it open? Uh-oh. Wait, what's the... Uh-oh. This is like... I could honestly... I could hurt somebody with this. Oh, shit. Okay, wait. You put the brown sugar into a container with a slice of white bread. It will soften, but it takes a day. Okay, well, I guess this is now a 24-hour stream. We'll just wait for the brown sugar to soften. Okay, what? Hold on a second. Shit. How to soften brown sugar that has hardened. Okay, to soften hard brown sugar, you can either microwave it with a damp paper towel in short intervals, or place it in an airtight container with a slice of bread. Oh my god. Get a knife and just stab it. Put in a bowl with wet paper towels and microwave at intervals of 30 seconds until soft. Oh my god! Why is this? Why is there always something? Yeah, Cutie better watch out, for real. I mean, here's the thing though. I have not almost burnt my kitchen down. Bro, how am I even gonna get this brown? I don't even... This is really bad. Wait, why is it white? Oh my god! Okay, Is brown sugar supposed to be white? You know? MRD, thank you so much for the resub. Okay, has anybody ever witnessed somebody having to see how, like, it's white? Whatever. Well. If my parents are tuning in right now to watch me bake this cake, this is really embarrassing. Is it expired? I didn't even know that, like, that really happened. I thought sugar could last through, like, nuclear war. Okay. It's not, no. Okay, is that a full cup yet? I don't know. Am I gonna need... Oh my god. This is, like, crazy. Ow. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Let me get this towel. Okay, so much for like 15 minutes So much for 15 minutes prep time. You guys, I'm like an archaeologist. I'm like an archaeologist on a dig. Like, okay. Okay, surely that has to be at least a cup. Surely. Let me just kind of roughly just rip the bag off and throw it all in the bowl. Oh, well, that would have been an idea. Let me try. All I need is 1 cup. This has to be a cup. Look at these chunks. Oh my God. Okay. All right, there we go. I just ripped off a hunk. ripped off a hunk. Whoever would have thought that sugar would be described that way? Okay. Just kind of break this up. This is some Amelia Bedelia ass shit. It is. Okay, so now I need, what do I need? A wet paper towel? Damp paper towel. So I like put it over. Okay. You're gonna want to break up these big chunks. Do I have, oh my God. It's okay though, I think if I, yeah, I think it'll be, I think it just needs to, you can break them up as it gets softer. Yeah, okay, all right. Oh, there's some ants crawling across my countertop. Thanks. Okay, gang's all here. Gang is all here for the birthday celebration. Okay. You guys, this is honestly, this is like digging into a 10,000-year-old temple. How hard this is. Okay. Now I'm going to watch it very carefully. Okay, here's the damp paper towel. Wipe down the tray. There's so much sugar everywhere. They're calling their friends. Okay. So I do it for 30 seconds. Is this damp enough? Okay, it's already kind of hot. Check it. Ooh. This is fucking crazy. Okay. Okay, it's softening a little bit. Let me go back in. Get this a little more wet. Just kind of dry. Okay. All right. Oh my God. Okay. Shit, I knew, when I was checking my ingredients, I was like, oh, I have brown sugar. That'll be fine. That'll be okay. No, no K. No K. Check this. Wow, it's steaming. Okay. All right. Ah! Why is there a dead bug in this? No! What is that? Oh no, I want to die. I want to die. What the hell? What the fuck is that? I don't know if you can see it. This is not gonna work. Can you see that? Ah! I just dropped it. Oh, gross. I don't even know what this is. Oh, God. Can you see that? Okay. I am shaking. I can't even hold these chopsticks. Okay, I can't. Oh my God, what is that? Why is that in the fridge? Oh, Mayday. Oh, okay. What is that? No, it's really dead. It's very dead. Is that a fuck? No, it doesn't look like a cockroach. What the fuck is this? Oh my God. Wait. Okay, I'm taking a photo of this. Taking a picture of that. Ugh. Ugh. Die. We have major problems. Major issues. Wait, did it die because I microwaved it? Wait, no! Oh, God! Oh, there's bits and pieces. Wait. I can't tell if that's just like the sugar. Oh my God, that is, now it just seems like it's all maggots. Okay, wait, I'm putting this in the Discord. If I had any appetite before, it's gone. I am sickened. I am so sick. I am so sick. Oh my God. This is so bad. Okay, wait. I'm texting Maya. Found this in my brown sugar. Oh, God. Just gave it a nice little steam. How many more are in here? Oh my God, is that another one? Oh, there's more! There's more! There's 1, 2, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. They're halfway. Wait, you guys, they're like calcified into it, and they're midway down the bag. How did they get there? Oh God. Oh, I feel sick. I feel sick. I am sick. I am sick. I am sick. And now I'm more sick. Like, what the fuck is in that? Oh, this is going in the trash. Oh my God. I am sick. I'm sweating. Oh. I knew it. I knew this was cooked. I feel like I'm gonna vomit, honestly, and maybe it's because I have like some sort of flu, but also because oh God. Oh my God. This is the most cursed, I got a flying, I have a fly. There's a fly, there's freaking ants, there's like mummified, whatever the hell they are in my brown sugar. Okay, I'm getting rid of this brown sugar first and foremost. Oh my God, what the hell is this? Okay, there's like another, why is my house why is it infested? Oh, okay, I'm gonna put myself in this trash as well. Oh my God, I cannot be here anymore. This has been a disaster of so many means. Now I'm like, what the hell's in here? Has anyone identified what this is? Oh! Maya just told, no, I'm sick, you guys. I am ill. I'm sweating. I have like, this has put me off. She said it's oh my God, I want all of this brown sugar. She said it's a German cockroach. She said it's a German cockroach. Die! Why did I just touch those? Oh my God. Oh my God, why am I by myself in this place? Hell. This hell place. Hold on a second. I'm coming in with this. Fucking kill me. Out of here. Fucking water. What the fuck? Oh God. Oh Jesus. I should have known that vibes were fucked. I mean, on the bright side, they were all dead. Taking this fucking trash out. I feel like I just wanna like light everything on fire. I just wanna kill it with fire. That's so sad. Okay, I'll be back. Hold on. What? Wait a second. Okay. All right. Wait a second. What on earth? What? Okay, hold on. You guys. Okay. So, wait a second. Where's my chat? It's normal. It's a pantry mouse found in sugars. It isn't a roach. It doesn't make me feel better. I told you these cooking streams are so cursed. Okay. Look at, I went outside to throw the trash outside, and like the craziest flowers were just in the dark. Look at these crazy flowers. Look at these crazy flowers. What the heck? What? What the hell? Hold on a second. There's another one. What the heck? What on earth? Wait a second. Okay. There's two Gorgina. Okay. Wow. This is like literally the bugs are apologizing. Let me wash my hands. It's gross. Touching bugs and other disgusting things. Oh my god, these flowers are like clearing up the need to vomit. This is so nice. I need to see who these are from. Oh my god. What? This is crazy. Okay, so how the hell? Wowie. Wait a sec. Wowie. Do not drop this, Caroline. Do not drop this, Caroline. Do not drop this. Do not drop this. Do not drop this. Oh my god. Okay, so there's that one. There's that one. Let me show you. Like, what the hell? These are the most beautiful. This is a roller coaster stream. I know, this is like my flu. And then, what on earth? What on earth? Look at these. What? Okay. So this one is for Will. Happy belated birthday to the king. Hope you had a great birth month. Hope to see you soon. Let's hang. From Paige, from Peach Jars. Oh my God, she sends the most beautiful fucking flowers. And then this one, okay, so this is Will's. This one is mine. What? This is like insane. These are the most insane flowers. And she said, happy birthday to one of the most inspiring women I know. Thank you for being you. I hope you have an amazing day. Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna cry. These are so nice, especially when I was in just panic mode. And I felt like bugs were crawling all over my skin. I don't even care if there's bugs in these because they were outside. These are so beautiful. My God. She really, really sends the most unbelievably gorgeous flowers. Holy shit. Oh my God, Pongus. What a queen. What a queen. My bourbon pod, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. What a queen. What? What's happening? Wow. Oh my gosh. These are Mad Evie, thank you for the 21 months. She gets her flowers from French Florist. They're so nice. Like I was outside in the dark, like throwing the trash away. Brigitte, thank you for the 7 months. And then I beheld these insane flowers outside my door. And was like, what? At first, I was like, did Will send these? Even though he's coming back tomorrow, I was like, maybe I want to put these, move them over here for now. It's like, well, he's coming back tomorrow. Oh my God. You know what makes me so sad though? Like, these are so beautiful. I will die when they die. I will die when these die because they're so, that's one thing that pains me about such gorgeous flowers is you're like, oh, I wish I could preserve you forever. I wish I could preserve you forever. I know. Wow, these are just so freaking beautiful. Man, thank you I have to text her. I need to text her right now. Okay, now, where were we? You guys, what am I supposed to do about this freak ass cake? Hold on, I gotta call my dad and see if I can use white sugar.
Hello?
Hi, I'm on stream. So,
see that.
okay, did you see what happened with my brown sugar?
Sort of, yeah. I know it was hard.
Yeah, and then
Crystallized.
did you see when I found mummified bugs in it?
Actually, I stepped out for that during that time, but
You didn't hear me shrieking?
well, I heard you shrieking when I got back.
Yeah, I was shrieking because it was a bug's life up in my brown sugar.
You got gorgeous flowers, though.
What?
You got gorgeous flowers.
I did get gorgeous flowers. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to vacuum up this fly. Wait 1 sec. Okay, that didn't work. Anyway. All right, so I lost my mind because there were bugs in my brown sugar.
I know.
What am I supposed to do?
Oh, do you have white sugar?
I do. Can I use white sugar?
You have molasses.
Molasses? No,
Yeah.
I don't have molasses.
Well, I mean, you can try making it with white sugar. It just won't have that extra caramelized flavor.
I'm gonna be so for real. I feel sick right now with these bugs. I mean, I'm already sick, but it just added to it. Like, I have a sheen of sweat. I'm just sweating. I don't even.
Well, at least they were dead. I mean, they weren't living, right?
No, they weren't. But like simultaneously, there were ants crawling across my stupid counter because I've had ant issues. And then this fly that I have not been able to get. This has been my Walter White fly.
Yeah, well, you have an issue definitely going on.
I know. I've got issues. Okay. So basically,
do you still want to make a cake?
not really. Sad. Yeah, no, I don't think I do.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
I think
Just chat, talk.
probably that's it for me. I think I'll No, I don't even have an appetite because I'm like so hot and just grossed out. I made some soup a couple days ago. Maybe I'll just have a little soup. What a disaster! I've never had this happen.
It happens to the best of us.
I don't know if I'm the best of us, though. Shoot, I accidentally got 4 bundt cake pans, too.
Yeah, well, what are you doing with 4 bundt cakes?
4 bundt cake pans. I don't know. I remember ordering like 2 regular 10-inch cake pans on Instacart, but I guess maybe either I did it or it was a substitution that I ended up with 4 bundt cake pans.
I mean, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe I could try it tomorrow. I'll go.
Oh, yeah, I mean, tomorrow technically is your birthday.
Yeah. I mean, the whole plan was to make this cake tonight, but yeah, I don't know. I'm like dripping in sweat right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the cake with white sugar. But it's
It just
gonna
won't have.
taste
I know.
different.
It's not gonna have that same glaze though. Plus, I don't
Yeah.
trust my white
That's
sugar
why-
anymore.
Well, that's what brown sugar is. It's white sugar with molasses.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I've already been live for an hour and a half anyway, and so far, all I have to show for it is a buttered bundt cake pan. That's
Well, you can
it.
yeah.
That's it.
These things happen.
And now
Like,
something,
you're-
my
you're-
camera's just died.
But with all these like cooking shows that are like so flawless, you know,
Yeah.
you're like the Julia Child of the.
I have so much sweat.
Have you ever watched Julia Child, one of her cooking shows?
Yeah.
Which is,
Oh!
you know how she always makes mistakes and blunders,
Yeah.
and that's really the endearing part of it. You know, yeah, you're sort of like the Julia Child of cooking.
Oh, she was good though. Like she was a professional cook.
Yeah, oh, no, she's a fantastic cook, but
Yeah.
she's like.
But
we
you're
all
saying
make
she was
mistakes
like
in the kitchen.
chaotic.
Yeah, she's chaotic. She was,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm a professional streamer.
yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what happens when it's all unedited. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this just makes for all the
I also said
classic moments.
I said I was gonna come for Cutie's baking title, and now this is the first. This is the first dinner cooking stream that I have not been able to complete. Oh my god. Okay, honestly, that's pretty funny.
It is. Well,
It's pretty funny that I was like, "Ooh, guys, I'm baking. Watch out, Cutie." And then just totally unsuccessful. I feel like Cutie sent those bugs.
oh, that would have been a good one.
Sabotage.
Yeah, that would sabotage.
Yeah. Well,
Thing of brown sugar. You
Oh.
remember?
well, I don't know. Now I'm kind of scared though. If like maybe I used a little bit for some recipe and there were bugs in it the whole time. I don't want to think about it. Like I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, I know. I need to get airtight containers. It's just that I never use this stuff, so I just don't really think about it. I just have it in. Cutie used one of the Etsy witches. She would do that.
That's right.
Oh my god, and Farley has been farting. It's not good over here.
Are you going to give any clues to what?
Oh
movie
yeah,
it
I
is
haven't
tonight?
even talked about what we're watching tonight. Okay, y'all, it's a film that it's a film I already hinted at that we would watch. It's a film that came out 20 days before I was born. 1992 film, 20 days before I was born, starring someone who just recently passed, who I did a 4-hour tribute to, Robert Redford. It's a feel-good heist film with an amazing ensemble. Like
Yes,
one
that's a
of
great movie.
it's so good. It's such a likable, just fun ensemble. It's not Shrek 2. No. No. Do you know what it is?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes place in Chicago.
Yeah.
No, I love this picture.
Yeah, Sneakers.
That's Sneakers.
We are watching. Wait, doesn't it take place in Chicago too?
Oh, are you watching the Sneakers?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Sting.
Oh, no. Sting came out in 1970.
Yeah, that's right. It is a 70s film.
Yeah. Wait, maybe Sneakers doesn't take place in Chicago. Maybe I thought it did.
No, it doesn't.
I don't remember where it does. I haven't seen it in a long time. But no, we're watching Sneakers, which I think is probably one of Robert Redford's like underrated roles. You know, people think of him in 3 Days of Condor, All the President's Men, The Sting, Butch Cassidy. If you are maybe if you know him from Marvel, from Captain America. You're like, that guy. But Sneakers is fun. I think maybe because it's just not one of his films that was, super duper critically acclaimed, winning awards, et cetera, et cetera. People don't really think about it. But when I was going over his work after he passed, that film popped up and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this. And it was on YouTube. So I was like, perfect. But yeah, it came out September 20th, 1992. It came out September 9th. September 9th. Yeah. So it was like just before I was born. And it was, I think, like the 20th most successful film of the year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So it was like a $20 million budget, grossed 100-something mil, has a crazy ensemble. It's got Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley, River Phoenix. It's one of the last films that River Phoenix did because he died the next year. It's a very young River Phoenix. I mean, he was only 23 when he died. Also has James Earl Jones. Like, cast is just crazy. Sidney Poitier. So Robert Redford was the first person who signed on to the film, and because he signed on, then the director, Phil Alden Robinson, he had always wanted to work with Robert Redford, so he was like, I'll do it. He wasn't even interested in the film before, but after Robert Redford signed on, he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then because Redford signed on, he helped get like all the other cast. And apparently it was just like a really fun time making the film. So that's what we're watching.
Cool. All right.
Well,
Okay,
that's a disaster of cooking, but I might try again tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks.
Talking.
Okay. Love ya.
Okay. All right. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, you guys. Wait, let me see if there's anything I need to put away. If there's anything I need to put away in... do that when I put... I'll go do that after I put my... What the heck-a-roni? Shred, thank you for the 22 months. Jen, thank you for the 36. Did you take on Will's birthday curse? Oh, God, no. You fought through a lot? You guys... What a disaster. That was a lot. Are you okay? Not really. But I'll be fine. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that I fucked up so badly. It was a good try. I'm gonna be for real. I could have ordered sugar or tried the white sugar. I felt so sick. Like already was not on my A game. And then when I saw those bugs, it like just zapped everything out of me. No appetite. Like, I'm going to force myself to maybe have some soup just so I eat something, but like no appetite, chills. You know when you get just like, I have chills still. Chills still. Oh, same, and I wasn't even there. Scuffed bug spray. See? 32 ending on a high note. It was not meant to be, but that's okay. That's okay. I might, so tomorrow night, because tomorrow's my actual birthday. Tomorrow night, Will and I have a sponsor that we're doing. Maybe afterwards I can try and make. You got a fever? Oh, yeah. I mean, I have just sweat dripping down me. Maybe I can try and run back the cake tomorrow night, you know? Maybe I can start it because it takes an hour to bake. I can start it. We do our sponsor and then I can finish it. I don't know. We'll see. I did really want to make it. I hope you're feeling better. I was feeling as sick as you were last week when I was in Korea. Yeah, it's not like full blown sick where I like can't get out of bed, but definitely. Oh my God, this fucking fly. This fly. Let me bring my light back in. There you go. At least get some light up in here. This fly. Okay, I'm gonna start the movie rules soon. So, yes, we are gonna be watching Sneakers from 1992, which I talked about. I was like, I feel like people will probably know what we're gonna watch. Draco Kid, thank you for the 23 months. Grab some chopsticks and go, hi! You want to come back up? I know, it's been really hectic. Come here. Okay, I'm going to get down in a second, though. Man, he's kind of needy tonight. Oh, is it because your tummy hurts? You got tummy. You got tummy problems. Koost, thank you for the prime. Okay. All right. He just wants to fart all over me. You know what? That's what mothers do, though. They let their little babies fart all over them. Let their little babies fart all over them. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go clean up some shit in the kitchen. Where is God, I love Portishead. Oh, I love Portishead so much. So much. All right.
It's a groovy time for a
Movie time.
So grab your gap and grab a seat.
Okay. I'm gonna get down.
Forget to get something to eat. Delicious meat and nutritious meat.
You can't beat my meat for a special treat. Sucking on me is really neat.
Don't be a jerk and don't be a fool. Be a good neighbor and follow these rules. What are these rules? Remember to keep your shoes on at all times. Don't pull your penis out unless you really need to. Indecent exposure is a class 2 felony.
Oh, Far. Far. What's going on, TT? Little Teeter. Little tiny Teeter. Okay. All right. Let me drink some water. Far, you want to get in the chair and watch the movie too? Or you want to get in Mom's lap? You want to come? Come here. Come on. You can come in my lap. You want to sleep here? Your tummy hurts? Come here. Come here. Come here. You can come sleep in my lap. Come on. Okay, there. Good boy. There you go. Okay, you can just snooze and toot in my lap while we watch this movie, okay? Okay. All right. Okay, everyone. So, I already talked a little bit about it. He gave you the Gen Z stare. Oh, he's been farting. He has been tooting. Okay, so we are watching 1992's Sneakers. It is a caper thriller film. It's a feel-good heist movie starring Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley, Mary McDonnell, River Phoenix, Sidney Poitier, and others. So it has an amazing ensemble cast, and it was so the script was conceived by Walter Parks and Lawrence Lasker, and they came up with the ideas. They came up with the idea when they were doing War Games. So they were in pre-production for the film that they wrote, War Games, which was like the first film that really popularized the concept of computer hacking in the 80s and information technology. So this film has hacking, it's got spy gadgets, it's it's fun. It's fun. It's like easy, it's breezy. It's not super heavy like some of the other thrillers, political thrillers that Robert Redford made his name in. But yeah, when I talked about Robert Redford, he was a jack of all trades. He did a lot. But one thing that he was really made his name in were doing these like political thrillers of the 70s. And so, oh, that one's extra bad. Oh, that one's extra bad. Oh, no. Oh, God. That is going to make me puke. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Tonight is so... I think all of Peach's flowers just wilted. Oh shit! This is chemical warfare. I need my mask. I need my mask. This scene is so fucked. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Anyway, I know his poor tummy. His poor stomach. What did you eat? What did you have? See, this is what happens if I don't always pay attention to him. He can eat some trash. Oh, poor baby. Hogan, thank you for the gifted sub. Oh, my poor sweet baby. My poor sweet baby. All right, y'all. Without further ado, here we go. 1992's Sneakers, in honor of the month and year of which I was born, but more importantly, in honor of Robert Redford. I don't think this is his best film, but I think he's great in it. And I think it is an underrated, I think it's an underrated Robert Redford performance that really never got mentioned much in discussions around his career and his legacy. Okay. It is a Christmas movie. Singular Salmon, thank you for the 2 months. Yeah, it's fun, you know? I told y'all, it's one of those like feel good caper heist type films. I saw somebody describe it as if Steven Spielberg directed Mission Impossible, which I think is a really good way to. I think that's a good way to describe, to sum up that film. Like if Steven Spielberg, his Spielberg, you know, Spielbergian way, directed Mission Impossible. And what I love about this film too is that unlike other, oh my goodness, Burgles, holy shit. Holy shit, Burgles with the 20 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate ya. What I love about this film is that in the 90s, we got a bunch of like really slick, really high-tech thrillers, including Mission Impossible, Enemy of the State. And I like that this film just feels human, like it feels grounded. Big reason is because of the ensemble. Thank you guys for all the happy birthday wishes. But also because this film doesn't have, like, it's very humble. Like, it's a heist, caper, all that type of film, but its sensibilities are like, it's not swaggering, you know? It's not like Ocean's 11. It doesn't try to be sexy. It doesn't try to be slick. It doesn't have the ego. It has much more of this humility. And I also like that for the first 3/4 of the film, our ragtag crew here, they're like, they find out that they're pawns. So it's not until the last quarter of the film that the real heist kicks into action when they go to steal the box. And so for, most heist films, it's like, you don't really have that kind of structure where the main group that is supposed to be in charge, that is supposed to be in control, actually realize that like they're not in control and they've just been kind of played this whole time by various groups. And so they finally like come together. And what's great too is, as I said, this film is really a masterclass of like setup and payoff. There's no loose ends. When you get to the end of the film, introduces a lot of things, and then it's a callback to that. And so it's called Sneakers because that's what they do, right? They sneak. They're sneakers. They are penetration specialists. They're penetration specialists. And so what we see them doing in the beginning, even though they are like, essentially they're doing that work because they're all kind of if they weren't doing that, they would probably they would be in like prison somewhere. And they're trying to keep a low profile, make a living. These are a group of people who are Dad Smurfing Health. Thank you so much. Save everyone. Thank you. Thank you. They are all on the fringes. They're very much outsiders, which always makes for a great, a great ensemble in a film like this, just the characters. And so they are working as security experts where essentially they break into banks, corporations, et cetera, to test their securities. And that's what they do then at the end. Like if you didn't see the parallels between what they were doing in the beginning and then what they were doing at the end. And the thing about it too is like at the time, penetration testing was not the multi-million gadillion dollar business that it is today. Today, like every corporation, even smaller medium level, smaller companies will engage, like they have full on teams that they employ to constantly test their vulnerabilities. But at the time, like this wasn't really a big business. And so that's one reason too, that like this film feels relevant today, that like it's not one of those films that has been dated after 30 plus years. Like it still feels because of how good the research, how solid the research is and how grounded this film is. It doesn't feel dated. Like say in Mission Impossible, the famous email scene, it doesn't feel dated like films of it's, other films of this genre can feel. Thank you guys for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you. So today, okay, so as I was saying, this is something that now is a huge industry, but at the time it really wasn't. And so it's great though, because it shows them, we are introduced to these characters as they are. At first we think pulling off a heist, but it turns out they're actually just like doing this security testing because that's how they make a measly living and also stay out of trouble. And then at the end, we see those skills again put into action when they break into the toy company to steal the box back. I'm a pen tester. My office building was in sneakers. Wait, really? That's so cool. Oh, I also want to show you all. So a couple of you mentioned you're like, wait, that parking lot looks familiar. Do you recognize this too? Hold on. Okay, so first of all, this is a 4:3 aspect ratio. All right, this is a 4:3 aspect ratio. This is just a filmmaking, a filmmaking thing. This is to show that this is a flashback, December 1969, and then it transitions into widescreen. But take a look. First of all, do you also notice that these credits are anagrams? Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? These are anagram credits, which I think sets the tone too for this kind of being like a playful, nerdy film. Okay. You may recognize this, the clock tower scene from Back to the Future, because yes, they filmed on the same lot.
02, transfer to 5301.
Yeah, see all these cool details. Super fun. Swarley, thank you for the 6 months. Full pled. Thank you for the 21 months. Jennifer, thank you. We gotta save the clock tower. Yeah. Okay, so it just gives you the vibe right away, like just the tone that this film is gonna take. And then anagrams show up consistently through, as a part of the story. And then obviously the anagram of too many secrets, which is the tagline of the film. So my favorite part of this film, aside from the kind of the prescient quality that it has, as far as Cosmo talking about how the future is power is information is power, and that it's not just going to be it's not about a world that's ruled by like money. It's a world that's ruled by information and who has information. And I think this film kind of is at the it takes place in this era that's kind of the in between of like analog and digital, right before the digital revolution. Like, you notice the internet is not mentioned at all in this film, because the internet as we know it did not exist. So this is before the dot-com boom. This is before the digital revolution. This is before, like, you know, if this were a film that takes place today, obviously all of this hacking, all of this like warfare, all of this, you know, all the plot points in the film, it's all happening digitally. But because it still kind of has like old school remnants to it, the action, a lot of the action is like physical action. They have to go physically steal. They're obviously using technology and like their skills, but they have to go physically steal this box, which I think makes it really fun. My second favorite thing about the film, though, is the cast. I just think the cast there's so much chemistry. There's so much chemistry. Even though Robert Redford is the lead of the film, it very much so feels like an ensemble piece. These feel like lead actors in supporting roles. I also think like it's a testament to how good these actors are that, for instance, River Phoenix, God rest his soul, River Phoenix, who died way, way, way too young. He actually died the year after this film came out. His character of Carl could have easily come across as like really annoying, really creepy, kind of incel vibes. But he has such a charm to him. Like, all these characters have a charm, especially Robert Redford. And he just is, he does a lot with not having necessarily a lot to work with, you know? Like, I think we're introduced to these characters. We understand how they all fit in together, how they're all outsiders in their own right, and just kind of their quirks and eccentricities. But also I just think the performers and the chemistry between them does such a good job at giving this film its playfulness, you know, giving it like just a fun, breezy feel. You know, it moves along. The jokes are funny. I would love Dan Aykroyd and Sidney Poitier. Wish we had gotten a film with those two. And then also the duo of Sidney Poitier and Robert Redford. I love the contrast of those two characters. You know, could see a comedy, a duo film. What the fuck am I trying to say? Yeah, like a buddy film with those two as well. River Phoenix was so damn good. Him as a young indie at the beginning of The Last Crusade was so perfect as well. I know. And like River Phoenix was a rare talent, and he would have had, he already had an amazing career and already had shown what he was capable of, and like just from such a young age being in critically acclaimed films. But I just think about the career that he would have had if he had not died at 23. Yeah, he had crazy range, insane hair. Yeah. So it's sad. Like one thing about watching older films on this stream is like a lot of times these actors are no longer with us. You know, we lost James Earl Jones. We lost obviously Robert Redford recently, which is also why I wanted to watch this film. River Phoenix is no longer here. Sidney Poitier. Yeah. So a lot of really great actors from this film who are no longer with us. Whistler in the Captain Crunch cereal box is a reference to real people, a network of phone hackers, many blind who realized that they could use whistle tones to hack phone systems. A whistle found in Captain Crunch cereal made a perfect to 2600 millihertz tone, and you could do crazy shit with it. Yeah. So as I had said before, these screenwriters, so they were in the middle of pre-production on War Games, and War Games is the film from 1983 that really revolutionized like cyber hacking in films. Like it was the film that it was the film that like did that. And so they were working on this film and then they came up with this idea for sneakers, but they wanted to make sure that the like technical elements of the film had were realistic, at least as realistic as you can try to be for a film, especially one that strikes this tone. And so they employed consultants, they had people working on this who knew what they were talking about. And as I had mentioned when we were watching the film, one of those people was Len Adelman, who was one of the inventors of modern RSA encryption. He was a technical consultant on the film. And that was because his wife wanted to meet Robert Redford. So he writes all he was the one who wrote all those equations that what's his name? Lennell. I said his name earlier. The mathematician that you see him writing all those equations. I didn't realize it before, but the TV show Leverage was very similar to this movie. Well, if you've seen Mr. Robot, you also see how I have to imagine that like Mr. Robot pulled from this film and others like it, especially with the philosophy, with kind of the character motivations and philosophy between Cosmo and Marty, right? Because we have these two guys who they start off and they're really young and idealistic, but also like idealistic, but not serious at the same time. Like Marty gets hungry in the middle of this hacking that they're doing where they're hacking into institutions. He's like, I'm going to go get some pizza. So they're just, these like counterculture 60s, these counterculture 60s teenagers who have these big ideas on, we got to change the world. We got to hack. We got to use our hacking skills and try to fuck shit up. And then Cosmo gets arrested and Marty runs away. And a big part of Cosmo's motivation that we come to discover is that he is like burned by his need for vengeance. So unfortunately, the ideals that he and Marty once shared, like Cosmo has it, but it's kind of twisted. And it's twisted by his rage. It's twisted by his kind of like, anarchist, a little bit nihilist. Now he's kind of, he's kind of lost the plot a little bit because he uses his skills and also he uses his supposed ideals in a way to enrich in himself. Like it's no longer about like trying to help the less fortunate and to help the little guy, and do what you can. It turns into something that's just kind of been twisted. And because of his need for vengeance, because he believes that it wasn't fair that he went to prison and he sees Marty running away, and he's basically like he's basically so it so warps him, but he also still loves him, which is why at the end he's like, join me, right? It's a very join me, like, here's my hand, we can take this world for ourselves. Like basically I'm gonna crash this planet, I'm going to destroy everything. And through the chaos, like I and you will rise. I can show you the world. That's what it is. He's like, come with me. Like, let's do this together. But what that is essentially like we build our own empire in the ruins of this world, which is not what, which is not what they started off doing. But I think at the end, obviously Marty, he's been laying low for decades. He's been trying to just make enough money to pay his bills, to stay out of trouble. He doesn't want to get caught because he committed like serious crimes when they broke in, and he ran away and then changed his name and has been kind of lying low. But at the end, like, I think we see that twinkle back. We see that, the work here isn't done. And I think him, obviously he takes the main component out of the encryption box, because he's like, I'm not letting the government get their hands on this. There's that great line at the end when Whistler's like, I'm wishing for world peace, and that's what I want. And James Earl Jones goes, we're the government, we don't do that. He's like, well, you at least can try. And then the last scene of the film announcing that the Republican National Committee has gone bankrupt, and these progressive, these progressive nonprofits and people who are trying to do good suddenly have received some very nice Christmas donations, some anonymous donations. Plus, he has his record wiped. Exactly. His record is wiped. He is kind of free to return to, return to what he and Cosmo had set out to do, that kind of work. But also, like, it's a feel good film. It never drops. It never drops the tone that it strikes in the beginning, even with the dramatic moments, even with the heightened stakes, even with the conflict. Even the fact that he worked for organized crime as a day job shows he's willing to sacrifice some of his ideal to justify the ends. Yes, like he links up with criminals. Like, they are committing murder. They murdered the mathematician. They were going to murder Marty. They were going to murder, his group. So it's definitely kind of that. I think Cosmo's interesting. I wish we had gotten more of him in the film. But we get enough to show us that, like, he's not necessarily a villain, because I think in his heart of hearts, he is still the young man from, the opening. And he still does despise, like, the institutional corruption, and he understands well where power lies in this world, and he gives us that line about information and whatnot. But I think he's twisted in his rage and in his need for vengeance, and unfortunately in in taking some of that pot for himself, and like basically building up his own empire. He hates the system and was punished by it. Yeah. I mean, he went to prison, and now he never wants to be in that position again. Yeah, like, he wants power. That's what he wants. He does. He wants power, which is why he seeks that box. So he kind of loses the forest for the trees. They didn't show much of the friendship for me to understand it was that deep. I mean, I don't think this film's perfect. I don't, I say that a lot with films that I still love. I think you get that brief scene of them in the beginning. You come to understand that Marty thinks, he has a lot of guilt. He thinks Cosmo died in prison. I think it's a twist that you can see coming, I think at the time it was supposed to be this like, ooh, the big twist is that it's Cosmo, his former BFF and former hacker buddy, who's actually behind all of this. This movie was influential in cyberpunk fiction of the time. Cyberpunk was still getting written in 92. That's why it feels so relevant to the genre. Yeah. I really do think this is a film that was ahead of the times. And as I said, it really there are things about this film that are relevant today, which I think helps it to feel not as outdated as it could be, and still maintain its relevance. It reminds me of Michael Crichton's work with how realistic the sci-fi elements are. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is that this whole code breaking, this whole like quantum computing, encryption devices that can essentially obtain like any and all information that it can break through. It can break through all modern encryption. This is something that we are only more advanced into the world of quantum computing than we were back then. So it's not something where it was like, oh, this is so absurd. The film like doesn't go too into detail in explaining cryptography, but as far as what it shows, I think it's pretty accurate. And I think it's because of the consultants, the experts that they enlisted to help work on the film. So I don't think this movie was necessarily ahead of its time. I mean, I think it's commentary on like the incoming digital revolution. Absolutely. Like, you guys have to remember that this film this came out the year I was born. So this film is 33 years old. So this was before the internet boom, the .com boom. This is before the digital revolution. This is before like data and numbers that they talk about in the film is where like the control of that is where power lies. So I think it's commentary on that. I think what I think what it kind of predicts for the future, as far as now, if this were film that came out even earlier, obviously that'd be even more that'd be even crazier. But just its understanding of like how things are shifting and the direction that digital, like moving from analog to digital, was heading in. The average, but the thing about this film too is like, I think you can still get it, because sometimes, here's the thing about audiences. They don't like when they watch a film with a lot of technical lingo and a lot of kind of high concepts. They don't like watching a film if they can't understand it. So the role of screenwriters and the actors and the director on a film like this is you have to still make it palatable. You have to make it so that people can still get it, but you don't want it to feel dumb. You don't want it to, you want it to feel grounded, and you want it to hopefully be a film that can exist out of its, out of the era of which it was created. So I think they do a good job with that. Like, it definitely has it definitely has some concepts that are hard to even understand today, let alone 33 years ago. So you have to get that balance of like being nerdy, but also people feeling like they get it, and also like being entertaining, right? Being fun. Quantum computing. Yes, quantum computing. yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to see this film be kind of one of the great films about the internet without it existing at a time when the internet that we know was a thing and the word internet not even being mentioned. Just like life, balance the nerdy. True. Just like life, balance the nerdy. There, like, I will be so for real. I loved Mr. Robot. And I was totally along for the whole ride, but there was a lot in Mr. Robot that I just was like, what is happening? Like it's so dense. Mr. Robot with its just cyber tech, everything about that show, like it for someone like me, I missed a lot of stuff, but I still love that show because it's exciting and, you know, the performances are great. So anyway, I think Sneakers, because of its tone and it kind of being also a mishmash of genres, which I think is really interesting. You know, you've got like comedy, you've got heist, you've got espionage, you've got caper, you've got thriller. Like, it's one of those films that exists within multiple genres, and I think, you know, it definitely engages in like arcs and callbacks and cliches, and yet it doesn't necessarily mold itself to one genre. Like, it belongs to many. I wonder if Assange watched that movie while he was about to get busted in 94. I don't know. Julian Assange, did you watch Sneakers in 1992? Is there any chance of Bunny Girl gaming tonight? Possibly. Potentially. And yeah, I like the speaking truth to power and helping the people, and I like all that about the film. You know, I think even if it's a film that doesn't get like too deep, you know, it's not too heavy in that regard. I like it. Like, I like the vibes. I like the vibes of like a reminder that, you know, we gotta help the little guy, and we can't let the rich just rule this world. You know, it's kind of a little Superman idealism, for sure. Doesn't take itself overly seriously. Nah. Did you like Weapons this year? Yeah, I did like Weapons. Thank you for not going into 30 minutes to unlock 2/3 of the way into the movie. Well, I usually try not to pause too much, if I pause at all, and I try not to talk over the film too much, because I want people to watch it. I want to take it in, and then I like to talk about it after. But sometimes it's easier to pause and say something in the moment, because then otherwise I forget. Like, the film ends and I have so many things I want to say. I'm like, okay, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, I forgot to mention this part, or oh, I forgot to bring up this point. But Will and I don't like to pause. Like, when we watch stuff together, he's a big time pauser, to the point that sometimes I don't even want to ask him a question, even when I have a question about something, because I know he'll pause, which I can. Okay, sometimes the pausing's all right, but I don't like too many pauses when I'm watching a movie or a show, and too much conversation in between, because I think if you're gonna pause too, you got to pick the right moment. Not doing it right in the middle of something key, or it kind of can take the air out, like my immersion. Yeah, it's funny though, because we're just very different. We're just very different in that regard. No, I think he does well when he does his film classes. This is about just like our personal watching habits. One person I feel like is the pauser and one person is not the pauser in a relationship. My boyfriend is a pauser too. See, because then sometimes you have to go back. Like if you talk too long, you have to rewind. You have to go back. You prefer the discussion at the end. Yes. Yeah. I'm okay with discussion in between. I'm okay with occasional pauses, but sometimes I really like to just fully absorb something and then talk about it afterwards, which is why I love going to the movies. Because when you go to the movies, you sit there for 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you are just taking it all in. And then afterwards, you respond to it. My wife loves to talk during shows and movies, and I like to just watch the movie. See, I do believe having the yin and yang. There's always the one person loves to pause, loves to talk, and the other who's like, my toxic trait is not discussing a movie after watching with people. What? That's the best part. I do the David Lynch at not elaborating. I love the discussion after. That's crazy. Well, I guess you called it your toxic trait. Okay, other things on sneakers. There was a funny prank that was pulled in the middle of production. So, in the middle of filming, Robinson, the director, he received a visit from a couple of men who claimed that they were representing the Office of Naval Intelligence. And they were like, for national security reasons, your film cannot include any mentions to handheld devices that decode codes, which is funny because that is like that is a plot point that is done multiple times in the show, where like two men who claim to be representatives of a national security agent, like an agency, show up. They're like, hey, and then it turns out that they don't actually belong to that, which was the same case with what happened on set, because Robinson freaked out and was like, wait, what the hell? That device is a huge part. It's like a key part of the plot. How am I not supposed to include any mention of a handheld decoding device? That's the film. Like, otherwise, I don't have the film. Well, then he found out, he consulted with a lawyer. From the studio, and then realized that it was a prank. And I think I don't know if there's a confirmation on who it was. It was either Dan Aykroyd or Robert Redford who pulled that prank. But yeah, the director had a heart attack practically on the set of the film when he thought he received a visit from representatives of the Office of Naval Intelligence, which also is just so random. Like, why would naval intelligence show up and be like, I'm sorry, sir, you cannot mention at all any handheld decoding devices, unfortunately, for matters of national security. the For matters of national security, we can't have that in the movie. Yeah, the other funny thing about Dan Aykroyd is that he is actually a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. So that's why a lot of people were like, I don't even think he's acting. Or maybe his casting was maybe that casting was just the perfect casting. He's very big into aliens. Very, very, very big alien guy. Private Pile, thank you for the 30 months. Kennedy is still alive. That's true. So the characters in the film, Bernard Abbott, who is played by James Earl Jones, he was named after Robert Abbott, who was the so-called father of information security. Who Robert Abbott was also a consultant on the film alongside Leonard Edelman. And then Whistler was based on, let me get these names right. Whistler was based on Joseph Joy Bubbles and Grecia and John Captain Crunch Draper. And these were two people who were really well-known individuals in the phone freaks and hacking communities. So that is who Whistler's character was based on. Joy Bubbles, who was born blind. So the element of his character being blind is from that. And then Crease, Donald Crease, who's Sidney Poitier plays in the film. He was based on John Strauss, and John Strauss was a former CIA officer who founded the consulting firm called Systech Group. And then this is funny. Dan Aykroyd's brother, Peter, he helped to supply conspiracy material for the character. He mentions the cattle mutilations, the staged moon landing, JFK still being alive, UFOs. That came from Peter Aykroyd. He was like, oh, you're playing a character who is deep in the conspiracy hole? This tinfoil hat on? I got you. Say less. Say less, buddy. Have you tried his vodka? I didn't even know he had one. Yeah, they got a certified freak. Also, I love that phone freakers. It's spelled Phreak. The OG freakers were insanely skilled. Yeah. There's some things in life that I'm like, I could never do that. I could never do that. Freaking is one of them. Freaking spelled with a PH. So freaking is it's a culture. It's an activity, culture, job, way of life. It's not a phase. And these are people who they're very good with telecommunication systems. So the word comes from freak, Freak, but with PH, which is how you spell, phone, PHONE. And so it's a slang term. So it combines PH from phone with freak, and then you get freak with a PH. I read about freaking and tried to do that is such a funny state. I read about freaking and tried to do some when I was in middle school, but they had already prevented it on all the payphones in my middle school, early 2000s. I read about freaking. I tried to freak. I read about freaking and I went, you know what? I kind of like this freaking. I kind of freaking like this freaking stuff. I like this freaking stuff. I want to try this. But by that point, it was harder in the 2000s to try to do it, to try to freak. Someone should P.O. box this to you. I can't believe they have vodka. Oh my God. Wait, this bottle is sick. I fuck with this. I fuck with this. This was designed by creative people. Dan Aykroyd and John Alexander designed the iconic skull-shaped bottle as a symbol of life, reflecting power and enlightenment. Only the best to hold their multi-award-winning spirit. Yeah. You certainly will become very enlightened if you drink this vodka out of this skull. Early phone systems used sound to do switching, so they would play sounds to make free calls. Yeah, that's freaking. That is freaking. This is what it says on Wikipedia. By recreating the signaling tones, freaks could switch calls from the phone handset while avoiding long-distance calling charges, which were common then. Those fees could be significant depending on the time, duration, destination of the call. Yeah, that shit used to be expensive. So freakers found a way to get out of it. Do you know who were freakers? Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, the co-founders of Apple. They were a part of the freaker community. So freaking began in the 60s when they discovered that certain whistles could replicate the 2600 hertz pitch used in phone signaling systems in the US. Like how, I just always think about the type of person, because that's so not me. That's so not my world. The type of person to discover something like that. To discover freaking. Private Pile, thank you for the 30 months. You know, how do you be a person? How do you be a person who is like that? Would they ever hold a competition for freaking, a freak off per se? Oh, it's a freak off. Wasn't there a whole period in early cable where a bunch of people were selling cracked cable cards? I don't know, but that sounds true. Why are we looking at holographic skull vodka? Because this is Dan Aykroyd and his brother's vodka company, which I didn't know about. Did not know that they had a vodka. What else can I say about? Oh, I forgot to ask, and people cleared out of here. People always leave as soon as the movie's done. What is this, a theater? What is this, a movie theater? The film ends and you immediately head out. You throw your empty popcorn container away. Anyway, I meant to ask if this was your first time seeing sneakers. I almost said freakers. If you're a freak, put a 1 in chat. If you're a freak, put a 1 in chat. I miss Bob Redford. Wait, Nandre, did I ever tell you? No, I probably didn't. Oh, my phone is dead. Shit. I only charged my phone once, but I didn't fully charge it last night, so. This charge. Throw some charge on it. Just like the wind. Oh boy, I don't know where it is. Anyway, Nandre, I texted a bunch of people to ask if they knew Robert Redford the day that he died. I texted Marsh. I texted Peach and Sear and Sam, Christian and Austin and Cutie and Hassan. I want you to guess the 2 people who knew who Robert Redford was. So Sam, Christian, Austin, Hassan, Cutie, Sear, Peach. I think that was it. Oh, Marsh. How many hours did it take? It took like 5 minutes. Everyone responded. Everyone actually responded right away. There were only 2 people, one of whom was offended that I asked that question. And I was like, don't have a right to be offended, given who you are, that I asked if you know Robert Redford. Katniss Everdeen, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Okay, who are your guesses? You think Austin got offended and Sear has to know? And incorrect on both. Okay. Cutie was one of them who knew. And she was like, yeah, I've been to Sundance. Like, she went even a step further. She's like, I've been to Sundance. So sad he's dead. The second person who then was also offended was Hassan. Hassan was offended that I asked him if he knew who Robert Redford was. And then afterwards I was like, okay, I guess I could see Ane, I could see his mom having watched, having loved Robert Redford. And so like he was aware of Robert Redford because of that. But otherwise, I'm like, Hassan, your track record with movies, your public, the very public lack of pop culture and film specifically interests that you have is Hassan's media taste is insane. I cannot place it. It's hard. I don't know. I also cannot place it at all. Also have no idea. Yeah, Bob Redford was an activist. He did, he's a guy who tried to help the little guy. I think his character in Sneakers is like, it's like Bob Woodward, the journalist and the character that he plays in All the President's Men, that mixed with like some Danny Ocean. Bob Redford was indeed one of the good ones. Oh, one of my other favorite facts about the film is that the film's press kit included a floppy disk, and the floppy disk had a custom program that explained the movie. And parts of this program were encrypted, and the user, so whoever received it, had to enter a password, but it was like an easily guessable password. And it was one of the first electronic press kits that a film studio used, which I just think is so cool. Like that's just one of those things that it helps set your film apart, because members of the press, they get shit sent all the time. And so just having something clever like that, relevant to the film. The password was boobs. Yeah, that's what it was. It was boobs. B00, no, 80085. 80085. Boobs. Okay, any other comments? Any comments? Any questions? Oh, the last thing I wanted to say. Okay, so Stephen Tobolowsky, who plays the employee that they social engineer, that they target. First of all, Tobolowsky is so perfect for that role. He's so funny. And also just so annoying. He's so annoying. He said it was one of the most fun times he's ever had on set. But also, so what's great about that is that the penetration testing techniques that are in the film are still ones that are used today by companies who do this kind of work. And so what it is this technique is the social engineering angle, where you target an employee based on their like online activity, their social dating profiles, in order to facilitate a break-in. So you pick someone who you think is a weak link, and that you can exploit said weak link, because that's what these companies do. They basically look for, this is like, I was a weak link at Sony. Okay. Like I not because someone would make a dating profile to get in, but because they could send me a link and I would click on it and then there you go, you're in. there you go. There you go. I am what's his character's name in Stephen Tobolowsky's character in the film? That's me. So that's how it works, is like you target someone who you think is a weak link, you gather information on them, you know, this angle of like making a dating profile and just getting information that you need in order to break in. Tom Holland was probably a weaker link than you at Sony, to be fair. Thank you. That's kind. That's kind. But yeah, it's that. So that is something too that the writers of Sneakers understood, that like humans are the weak link. They are the weak link in any security system. And so you exploit the human and you can find your way in, because humans are always going to, you know, you can have the most cutting edge technology, the toughest security systems, per the actual tech that's a part of the security system itself, but you still have the human element. Like you still have employees who work for these companies. And that's how you get in. Like you see a lot of that in Mr. Robot. You see them, picking people and then compiling information on them, making fake websites, getting their phone numbers, calling them, exploiting them that way so that they can then break in. Social penetration. I just report all work emails for phishing. Yeah, you can have 100% success rate if every single email you get, you just go, nope, that's a trap. That's nope, not falling for this one. The college I work for sends bait links. Sometimes you get a little congrats email for flagging it correctly. Yeah. That method where they overwhelm the receptionist to be able to get in is a very effective method. Yes, that one as well, where there was like so much activity happening. Robert Redford had the cake and the balloons and there's all the shouting and chaos. Because they made a diversion, overwhelmed the receptionist, and then got in that way. The guard at the front desk was actually pretty diligent, but then he saw Dan as the second gardener and doubted himself. Yeah, that guy. You know what? He was. It wasn't his fault. That was not one where he really dropped the ball on it. But also, if a beautiful woman asked me to say passport, how could I say no? It's true. A beautiful woman is like, I just love the sound of your voice. Could you say the word passport? Could you just say it a little bit slower? Like really enunciate. Really, really enunciate. Yeah, that's exactly it. Passaporta. That's totally it. Yeah, all right. So that was Sneakers. Definitely has its cult following. I think it's one of those films that people who love it, they return to it because it's got that feel good, it's got that feel good feel. It's got that good feel, and it's kind of a, you want to cozy up on the couch, watch something you've seen a million times. You put on Sneakers. It's great if you're if this was your first time watching it, hope you enjoyed it. Caro Kick, thank you for the raid. A lot of nostalgia. Yeah, a lot of nostalgia in that film. And I think it's one of the I think it's a wonderful Robert Redford performance, and one that didn't really get mentioned as much when he was alive, like pointed to as a great role of his. But I think the thing with Robert Redford, first of all, it's crazy that in the 60s and the 70s, people didn't consider him to be the great actor that they later did. And that, you know, after he passed, he was all these really glowing obituaries that were written about him. But he was so handsome and charming. And when he first, when he first started out, he just really wasn't seen as, he really wasn't considered and treated as a great actor. And then over the decades, like, he really showed what he fucking has. And I think he is a guy who just always, he could play this, you know, he could play a range of roles, and he always brought a very human feeling to the characters that he played. And of course he has that natural charm. You know, he's so handsome. He's charming. He just has, there's an ease to him. And it's also what makes Robert Redford thrillers so great, because he does feel like a human being in them. And he just has the ability to always ground his performances, no matter, no matter what's happening around him. Also very funny, his character in Captain America Winter Soldier orchestrates a plan inside of an intelligence agency to spy on everyone. 3 Days of the Condor. I love 3 Days of the Condor. I just recently rewatched that when I was lying sick in bed. When he passed, I said, I hope you watch it. My favorite movie of the early 90s. Well, there you go. Your wish has been granted. The closest I got to falling for a scam text was when they were like, crab boil for lunch. And you were like, you know what? Crab boil for lunch sounds good. Sounds great. This is my first Robert Redford film. Wow. Your first Robert Redford film when he is in, you know, he's an aging actor. He was 56 years old in that film, which is also like, what a great role for him. What a great film for him to do decades after he really made his name, especially doing political, you know, spy thrillers. For him to be nearing 60 and to show like, oh, he still fucking got it. Still got it. Anyway, I would go check out more of his films. He's just so great. Oh, I can't believe he's gone. I haven't seen that many Robert Redford movies. I always gravitated more towards like the weirder leads. He did a lot of movies. There's definitely a whole treasure trove of Robert Redford films. Like, I have been rewatching the ones of his that I just love. Obviously, I've already seen because I'm rewatching them, but I need to dive into films of his that I haven't seen. I forgot he was in the Disney Dragon movie. Yeah, he's also in Charlotte's Web. Did you do any Westerns? It's funny you ask. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which that film, when the screenplay was written, nobody wanted to touch it. None of these studios wanted to make it because they were like, the Western genre is dead. Like, it's done. We've moved on from it. And yet, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which also really introduced people to Robert Redford, William Goldman, who wrote the screenplay for that, and George Roy Hill, who ended up directing it. William Goldman was persistent. He just was obsessed with this story. He wanted to tell this story. So it's considered one of Robert Redford's greatest films. It also solidified the relationship, the partnership between him and Paul Newman, and, introduced them as one of the great Hollywood duos. So Yes, in answer to your question, yes, he did. And you should watch Butch Cassidy. And where they got the name for Sundance. Yeah, indeed. You'd be surprised how many people's first Robert Redford film was Captain America in 2014. Well, not after the Robert Redford tribute day, when a lot of people were like, yeah, I only know him from Marvel. I only know him from Captain America. So no, I'm not surprised about it anymore. I'd also recommend Brubaker. Yeah, I have not. I know of Brubaker, but I have not seen it yet. That's the one that he did with Morgan Freeman. I was on a similar thing watching his old films. That one's a hidden gem. Isn't that amazing? It's like when you have a career that long and when you are consistently acting, you know, you're just constantly working. There's always hidden gems. Is the movie over? It is. It is. I don't know if I can post a link, but the link to the promotional Floppy to Speak Sneakers movie is below. Oh, yeah, I do want to see that. Oh, Sneakers computer press kit. Look at this. Oh my God. See, I just immediately clicked. Do you guys see how, do you believe, if you didn't believe me before, do you believe me now? Like I just immediately clicked on this and obviously, you know, I'm safe. It's fine. But like, that's how I was. I was just clicking. What are you waiting for? Type in C-Tech Astronomy. Too many secrets. That's it. We're in. By George. Where's my mouse? Wait, you guys. Hold on. Where's my mouse? Wait, I'm not even kidding you. Where's my mouse? What the hell? Wait. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit. Lord, it had you. Almost got freaked. Oh, God. This is so neat. How cool is this? Select a topic with the arrow keys, then press escape to quit. Oh, my God. Codename Martin Bishop. Quote, your communication lines are vulnerable. Your fire exits ought to be monitored and your rent-a-cops are just a tad undertrained. You'll be getting our full analysis and recommendations in just a few days. But first, who's got my check? Background. As a graduate student in the 1960s, Bishop, a.k.a. Martin Bryce, was a computer prankster who once wired donations from the Republican Party to the Black Panthers. Although he faces indictments for computer felony, see file number 6, codename Cosmo, he has managed to remain underground and evade criminal authorities until now. Status at large. For further information, see the cast and crew biographies. It's so good. Like, just such a clever way to do a press kit. Released in conjunction with the computer hacking movie Hackerman's Sneakers 1992, this floppy-based computer press kit contained many of the aspects of regular movie press kits, including cast bios, plots, and information on all aspects of production. It was intended for press and as such is both locked up via passwords, but also endeavored to help the same press get through the barriers as quickly as possible. The balancing act between technical complexity and simplicity to ensure promotion is quite notable. The program in question is DOS-based and was released in 1992 as part of a package of both written and computer-based information. This is a pretty sick promo material, but thinking about the press in 92, I don't know how many of them were computer savvy. I think they made it as easy as possible, but yeah, I'm sure there were I'm sure there are press members who got this that were like, what the hell? I know we have to always preserve, save Internet Archive forever. Protect Internet Archive at all costs. And then here, so there's all these different files, which is so cool. Wait. Quote from Mother. Bish, can we go back to the they might kill us part? Status, released on good behavior. Dan Aykroyd with a choker necklace. An ex-hippie, Mother is a big kid who plays with expensive toys. There isn't a gadget in the world that he doesn't own or operate. Served 18 months at Dannemora for breaking and entering. A self-styled conspiracy theorist on subjects ranging from fluoridated water to Elvis. Related documents recently seized by Vice President's office. Carl, status, delinquent. You know what I can't believe? We just pulled off the greatest sneak in history and we can't tell anybody. Background, named Best Actor at this year's Venice Film Festival for his performance in My Own Private Idaho. River Phoenix has been... I like that this is the background for River Phoenix. River Phoenix has been acting professionally since the age of 10. Don't look, listen. Cosmo, status, missing. We were going to change the world, Marty. Remember? Did you ever get around to actually doing it? No? Well, I think I can. Liz, no prior arrest record. Whoa! 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 Wait. Isn't it too many secrets? Wait. You guys. Too many. Oh, do I have to do it all as one? Oh, no! Necessary motto? Oh. Type necessary motto when you are asked to enter a password. See? Okay, so if here you go. So remember how we said members of the press in the 90s probably wouldn't have known how to operate this? It was like, yeah, I'm sure they're... Well, I think I just demonstrated that if you couldn't figure it out, they would just tell you. They would just do it for you. Oh my God, I'm not going to make it into Hacker University. This sucks. This sucks. Damn. Damn. What follows is a sampling of some of the compelling facts behind the creative fiction of sneakers. Yeah, see, this is just so good. The NSA, sometimes referred to as the no such agency or never say anything. The hacker's rule of thumb is, wait, shit, what's the hacker's rule of thumb? If the system exists, you can get into it. There are two kinds of computer systems, open and closed. An open system is one that exchanges information with other systems, making it relatively easy to break into. Adding security features reduces the risk but slows down the flow of information, just as a catalytic converter saps power from your car engine. A closed system is a single computer or a group of computers that communicate with each other but are not linked to the outside world. This is more secure, but not as secure as you'd think. Sneakers begins in the late 1960s as the young Bishop and Cosmo use a rotary telephone and a room-sized mainframe computer to break into the account records of an all-too-vulnerable interbank system. Information technology has taken a quantum leap forward since then, and a new breed of computer programmer has evolved along with it: the hacker. Modems and PCs have taken the place of Cosmo's arcane hardware, but the hacker's method of operation is still the same. Locate a system, use the telephone lines to make contact with it, use whatever you can, technical skills, psychology, or outright deceit to get in. I don't know if I can go past that. Anyway, that's fun. That's super cool. Here's the link again. Okay. Well, y'all, I guess I could do a little bit of Silent Hill before we head out. How about that? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed film night. Hope everybody had a good time.